bring Teresa and Melissa back together, watching this show each week as it airs? Have we heard of Twitter and Instagram? So I thought that was just kind of funny. I think Melissa is running scared. I think she's trying to do damage control and realize, like, girl, I mean, you not speaking at all. I think Melissa is trying. Melissa, I think, would gladly take back a lot of stuff with Teresa. That's my opinion. I am team nobody. I don't really care as a human for either. But, you know,
don't you feel like it's a last ditch effort to potentially save them for continued seasons? Like, if they could bridge a gap and like just even extend an olive branch and there's hope. Because then I also read something about Louis saying that he doesn't like dislike Joe Gorga or something, which is kind of very Louis because he's very a motivational speaker-esque type, you know. But I read that too. So
yeah, Louis did say that.
It's interesting, but you know, I mean, look, maybe Teresa, I mean, this is just a complete theory, but maybe Teresa and Louis are a little nervous too, you know, maybe like we've seen all these people get spinoffs and none of them work. You know what I mean? Whose family has gotten a spinoff and it really worked? So maybe Louis and Teresa are like, look, we want to do another 7 years on this show, make Louis' sons famous, get the daughters all established doing stuff. So let's have everyone know we hate them. We do, but maybe it's good for everybody if we pretend we're going to make up and they stay on another 3 or 4 seasons. Then we fight with the gore. I mean, would that be so bad?
Well, since you're asking me and here I am in front of you,
yes.
No, I don't think Teresa is nervous at all. I think she is the most protected housewife out there. And I think there is no way that she is getting fired. And I think she knows it. And I don't think she gave them an ultimatum, but no, I think Teresa is really, truly done with them. And she wouldn't be if she didn't have Louis, but he gives her power, like peace of mind that she's not alone in this world. And I think Teresa is feeling herself. And I think she's completely over the job, but she ain't going nowhere. And I think her and Louis will be there till the very, very, very end. And I'm okay with having the Gorga stay. I just don't see how ultimately that is going to be possible long term if you are not speaking to the Queen of New Jersey, not my queen, but undeniably the queen of the franchise. You know, I don't know how it's going to work. I just don't. That's my honest opinion.
No, you look, you could be right. I mean, I just, and you know, probably there's enough material that Teresa goes on and Louis goes on and has storylines with other people without the Gorgas. So no, you're probably right.
I think they'll make them. I think Teresa is probably the most powerful current housewife. And if I had to pick a second most powerful current housewife, I might go with Kyle Richards.
Oh, like hands down.
I might go with Kyle. I mean, say what you want. They all say she's the one that moves the story along with that scene where she was on the bench with Sutton and Diana. I understood what she was trying to do. She wasn't really trying to insert herself. She was like trying to move this. Kyle is like sitting there as a producer before our very eyes.
Oh, so, totally.
And I think just Beverly Hills, it would go on without Kyle if she quit, but I think they don't want her to quit. She's not offensive. Like she's offending of people, but she's not so far to the left or right. Kyle, I think, is very powerful in the Housewives franchise. Who else do I think is powerful?
Giselle.
I literally was just going to say Giselle. Literally.
I'm sarcastic. No.
Well, I think for Potomac, I think Andy loves Giselle. I don't think anyone in Potomac is that high. I think anyone could go and the show would go on. I think she's possibly the most powerful one on that franchise.
What did she do this past week? She did something this past week. And I was like, I turned a little bit of a corner. I was like, you know what? I like what she's doing. Like,
really?
Yeah. She did something and I thought, I don't know. Anyway, I think it was maybe people coming for her, like Carlos King came for her. I don't know. you know, what I do love about her and admire her so much is like at the reunions when she just lets people read her and she's so unfazed. There is something great about that, but there's just, I don't know.
That's how I would be. I would be like, oh, I'm sorry you feel some sort of way about me. Like, sorry.
I know she's so freaking good. And, it's really, really good. But I think it was just something along that lines of maybe Carlos reading her or somebody that I was like, oh, you know, there is something really great about her not giving a fuck. And, you know, I love Jamal Bryant. He did an interview too, where now for his,
He did.
he did. Well, he mostly talked about his church, but he basically said now he wants to bring more young Black men to his church. So he's going to be like offering weed opportunities and like businesses and like teaching people about weed. Did you see this whole interview?
I like, okay, what? Like, I mean, I know I'm not an average churchgoer. I don't go to the synagogue very often either. What do you mean? Like, come in for a sermon and you can leave with like a pot brownie? Like,
Well,
or like a gummy?
he clarified for the cannabis clouds. Pastor Jamal Bryant responds to weed comments, criticism. Pastor Jamal knows you have copious amounts of questions after a viral weed comment, and he's issuing a response. The call is not to bring people to smoke at church. The call is to bring people to church so they can catch on fire, he said. As previously reported, the head of Atlanta's New Birth Missionary Baptist Church appeared on a podcast and discussed the possibility of the church entering the cannabis.
What podcast? I'd like Jamal Bryant on.
Cool Soro. Oh my God,
I'm gonna send a text.
Rashawn Alley's. Oh my God, don't. I just probably murdered that podcast. He gave the quote, "I'm looking for people who smell like weed," said Bryant, who also said he can enlist Black men to grow and sell it legally. No, really. New Birth is the largest land-owning Black church in America, he shared. So my position to my deacons is, why are we not raising cannabis? I'm teaching them farming. I'm helping them to enhance the ecosystem. And then people came for him. Jamal Bryant needs to hang it up. He completely lost his mind. Let everyone just evacuate his church.
This isn't, yeah, New Birth cathedral. New Birth.
Bryant saying
all
he
right,
wants
let's
no
see.
marijuana on the church grounds is legitimately the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. Another person wrote, "It's so very weird to me that all of you, of all the things that Pastor Bryant can do, he wants to grow cannabis and have a cannabis farm."
Is this Jamal's? I think this is Jamal's actual podcast, Sarah.
Oh, really?
I think Jamal only has 22 reviews. I mean, I have like 2,000.
This is it's on. This is for Sean Ali.
This is real time here, guys. We are now. Would you like to see Jamal Bryant?
Real time.
Would you like to see Jamal Bryant behind the rope?
He was on.
We are now reaching.
We do. But he